Now, the game of baseball has been around for nearly 200 years, with New Jersey serving as a breeding ground for the game's greats, including Derek Jeter and Mike Trout. But what if I told you New Jersey was the site of the first ever baseball game all the way back in 1846? Joining us now to break down the sport's birth is Leslie Heaphy, historian for the Society of American Baseball Research and Kent State history professor. Leslie, appreciate your time. Let's talk about baseball and its origins. Take us all the way back to 1846, that first game in Hoboken, New Jersey. How did that all come about?
So thank you first for having me. And yeah, it's a really cool story. So the place they played is called Elysian Fields. And so Elysian Fields, right, that reference to the great medieval. And you have a team called the Knickerbockers who are formed in the mid 1840s, and they were looking for a place to play. And so the rural area there around Hoboken was just perfect for it. And so the Knickerbockers start playing amongst themselves 1843, 1844, 45, and then find themselves in June of 1846 playing a game, first time against another team called the New York Nine. It was a four-inning game that was played at Elysian Fields, and it involved a variety of interesting players, including Doc Adams, Alexander Cartwright involved, etc. But that's how they came to play that very first recorded game between two teams rather than intra
So that seminal
playing.
moment, right? How much traction did that one game gain, and how did it help grow the game of baseball in New Jersey?
So that very first game, hard to say. The newspapers unfortunately don't tell us much about the attendance, but here's the thing, I think to answer your question, it clearly was one of those seminal moments because prior to that point in time, there had been baseball being played, right, for a number of years with different rules. Massachusetts game, New York rules, and this is the New York rules that are going to come, and those are the rules we still recognize today. And so it's that game and the fans, the newspaper attendants, Henry Chadwick, who was a journalist writing about this, is going to give that game its importance. And from there, the game will continue to spread, and New Jersey will continue to have a central role. They're going to have a whole bunch of teams in the 1850s and 1860s. And so it is that very first game that really gives rise to the codification of the rules and the rules that we still recognize for the most part to the present day.
Now, you said New Jersey playing a central role. I want to jump ahead to the 20th century. New Jersey also played a central role in the Negro League. Tell us about that.
Sure. So in Negro League Baseball, when we think specifically about the Negro Leagues, they were started in 1920. Prior to that, it was just black baseball in general. And certainly for New Jersey, they're going to have teams in Atlantic City. They're going to have probably their most well-known team in Newark, the Newark Eagles, under the ownership of Abe and Effa Manley. Effa Manley being, of course, now the only woman actually elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. They played at Rupert Stadium, and one of their very famous players, of course, was Larry Doby, who also went on to be a Hall of Famer. And Doby was on that Newark Eagles team in 1946 when they won the World Series. And today, people can visit one of only five remaining Negro League stadiums in the country, and that's Hinchliffe, which is in Paterson, New Jersey, which was home to the New York Cubans, the New York Black Yankees, the Mohawk Giants played there out of Schenectady, New York. And so that has been renovated and redone and has a wonderful museum there, and people can visit.
Leslie Heaphy, thank you so much for joining us. And please come back again and talk baseball with me. I love this.
I would love it. Thank you so much.